Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Friday, April the 19th. We got a big Friday night slate for MLB, 14 games. I'm going to go through the pitcher-player pool, talk about the pitchers that I'm going to be playing on this 14-game slate. And then I will give 3 hitters that I'm looking to target. We'll talk about some stacks I'll be going to. And then at the end of the video, for those of you that are interested in BVP, we will cover some BVP plays at the end of the video. Just before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But starting off at pitcher today, looking at the top, we got 2 options over 10K. José Barrios in a matchup with the Orioles and Justin Verlander in a matchup with the Rangers. I think both guys are great plays today. There's a lot of good cheap, like 7K-ish, like 6K-ish value pitchers that I like today, so it's pretty easy to play one of these stud pitchers. I'm gonna be playing both. I'm gonna have both in probably a majority of my lineups. But the guy that I lean on, that I feel like I'm gonna have the most of, is José Barrios. Barrios is 10,800 on DraftKings, and on Yahoo he's actually cheaper than Verlander. He's 49, whereas Verlander is 56. Barrios clearly the best option on Yahoo in my opinion. But even where he's more expensive than Verlander, I still think he's a better play. It's just such a great matchup for Barrios. He's facing an Orioles team that we know is just a very bad offense, strikes out a ton. They do have a low implied run total today, 3.6 implied run total. Alex Cobb pitching for the Orioles, which is something I like. He should be able to, or he should probably get rocked here. The Twins should be able to give Barrios some run support so that way he can get a win. I just think Barrios has a lot of upside here. He's been pitching very well this year. The only concern, I guess, is that there is expected to be some rain in this game, and there's actually expected to be rain in a lot of games on this main slate. Like San Francisco, Pittsburgh, it's going to have some rain. This Yankees game is going to have a little bit of rain. This Detroit game could have some rain. Cleveland project to have precipitation, so definitely going to be watching the weather for this Friday night slate. There's a lot of games with potential rain. Maybe even some of them could potentially get rained out. That's something we'll know more about Friday morning. But assuming this game plays and it's good to go, José Barrios is my favorite pitcher on this slate. I'll be playing plenty of Verlander, but I'm going to have more Barrios than Verlander. And looking at some of those cheap SP2s that we can pair with Barrios, there's a lot of them. I think Jordan Lyles is my favorite. He stands out at 7,900 on DraftKings, and down here on Yahoo, he's really cheap, $35. Makes a great pairing with Barrios at that price tag. Lyles also in a great matchup, pitching at home against the Giants. This is a Giants team we're going to continue to attack with opposing pitchers. It's a Giants team that just is not a good offense. You just look at the hitters in this lineup. Very bad hitters in this lineup. It's a great pitcher's park. There's plenty of strikeouts in this lineup as well for Jordan Lyles. He's coming off a great start against the Cubs where he went 6 innings, only allowed 1 run, 3 hits, did get 10 strikeouts. Clearly has strikeout upside. If he can get 10 Ks against the Cubs, I think Lyles could get close to double-digit strikeouts again here in this matchup with the Giants. He did throw 87 pitches in his last start, so he's fully stretched out. He can go 6, 7 innings if they need him to, especially if he's pitching really well. So like Jordan Lyles as well today, make sure you're keeping up with the weather. Expect to be some rain in this game. If it plays with no concerns, Jordan Lyles is a great SP2 option that we can target to pair with Barrios. But then if we're looking at some of these other pitchers, going back towards the top, like Corey Kluber, I want to play against the Braves, but Kluber's just been so bad this year. He is very nicely priced at just 9K. But like I said, Kluber's just been bad this year. It's not the best matchup. I do have some interest in him, though, just because of how he's priced at 9K. But I don't expect him to be a core play for me. I will be sprinkling some Kluber in, though. Like if he's going to be really low owned, I'll probably go like 10-15% of my lineups. I'll play him. Some of the other guys that I think have upside that are cheaper, Carlos Rodon against the Tigers definitely stands out. If you want to play him at 8,300, I think he could be an option. Marcus Stroman at 7,500 against Oakland, he stands out. Touki Toussaint, I really like at 7,300. It was a big debate for me whether to put Lyles or Toussaint in the core. I'm sure I'm going to have lineups where I go Lyles and Toussaint together, and then I really load up on bats. I'll have lineups where I go Barrios, Toussaint. Toussaint's definitely my second favorite cheap pitcher behind Jordan Lyles. And even going cheaper, like CC Sabathia against the Royals is in play for me. Matt Strom against the Reds at 7,100. Aaron Brooks at 6,900 against the Blue Jays, I think, is a pretty decent option. Even going really cheap, like Jordan Zimmerman against the White Sox at 6,500 is a guy you could look to as well. So there's plenty of cheap pitchers to target today. Those are just some of the ones that stand out to me that I feel like I'm going to be playing. Let's go ahead and talk about some bats, though. Look at some hitters that I'm going to be targeting. So we'll start off at first base. There's play that I really like here. Paul Goldschmidt, 4,800 on DraftKings, and on Yahoo he's at $22. Love this matchup for Goldschmidt versus Jason Vargas, and I love this spot for the Cardinals in general. I have a feeling the Cardinals are probably going to go overlooked on this slate. They only have a 4.9 implied run total, and there's multiple teams on this slate with a 5 implied run total or higher. The Cardinals are just in such a good spot for me to not go heavy on them. Jason Vargas has looked absolutely terrible this year. Dude can't even get out of the first inning. I know in his last start against the Braves, he didn't even make it out of the first inning. I don't even think he was able to record an out. He's been that bad. And there's a ton of good hitters that can hit lefties well in this Cardinals lineup. Goldschmidt, obviously one of them. Ozuna, DeYoung, José Martínez, Yadier Molina. I think all these guys are great play. I think Matt Carpenter is also a really good play, even though it's lefty on lefty. I do like him quite a bit. Paul Goldschmidt at 4,800. I love on DraftKings. Going to that lineup, though, for value, I think José Martínez, he is in the projected lineup. He's expected to bat 5th. I think he's a really good value, assuming he is in the lineup. He gets the platoon split, facing the lefty. Martinez, been very good this year versus lefties, has always been a guy that's hit lefties well, and does have some power, and he is facing a pitcher that gives up home runs. Vargas just so bad as a pitcher. It's a great spot for some of these Cardinals bats. So assuming José Martínez is in the lineup, I really like him here at 3,800 as a value play, especially because me wanting to pay up for Barrios, I'm going to definitely need to go for some value bats. The Cardinals do provide that with José Martínez, even a guy like maybe Ozuna. He's not the cheapest at 4,900, but Molina at 3,700. I don't really like Dexter Fowler or Colton Wong, but the 1 through 6 from the Cardinals, that's where I'll really be looking to. Really like that stack today. Hopefully these guys come in lower owned, because I have a feeling they will because of their implied run total and what it is compared to some of the other teams. Like Houston has 5.3. There's a Coors game where 5.3 for the Rockies, 4.9 for the Phillies. Dodgers have a 5 implied run total. Multiple teams with a 5 or higher implied run total. Don't expect the Cardinals to get too much ownership. But going over to Yahoo, I'm not going to include Martinez in the Yahoo core because there's some better plays that I like for just a little bit more. Like I think Martinez is 15 on Yahoo. He's not out of play, but definitely not my favorite play. If you just go like $2 more, you can get Charlie Blackmon in cores against a righty and Vince Velasquez. Charlie Blackmon on Yahoo at $17 definitely stands out. If you can get to him on DraftKings, he's for sure in play. But on Yahoo, where he's this price, I really like him a lot. And then going to the other side of that game, I want to talk about Roman Quinn. So he was a guy that I played a pretty decent amount of on Thursday night once we got the lineup that he was in the lineup projected at 6th. I'm assuming with Abdul Herrera out, Quinn's going to stay in the lineup and going to continue to bat 6th, where he's 3,300 on DraftKings and also dirt cheap on Yahoo at $11. I really like Roman Quinn here. It's not a great matchup when you talk about pitching matchup because he will be facing Germán Marquez, who is a very good pitcher. But in Coors Field, Roman Quinn should benefit a ton, especially when you factor in like how the outfield is with how like spacious their outfield is. A speedy guy like Roman Quinn, if he hits the ball into the outfield, he could turn like a single into a double into a triple. With just how Coors Field is, you don't really have to have a ton of power to be successful in Coors Field. So speedy guys can have a lot of success in Coors. That's where I think Roman Quinn comes into play. He's a very fast player. If he gets on base, he can steal bases as well. Same could be said with Scott Kingery. If he hits the ball into the outfield could do the same, turn a double into a triple, a single into a double. Kingery can also steal bases, but Roman Quinn batting 6 for just 3,300, especially in cash games. He definitely stands out as a really good value play if you do need a cheap outfielder. I expect him to be popular, but for good reason. So these are my 5 plays for DK today, and these are my 5 plays for Yahoo. Now we'll quickly go over some stacks I like, and then we will talk about some BVP plays. So my favorite stack today is the Cardinals. I'm hoping they go overlooked on this slate. I love some of these Cardinals bats, especially like the 1 through 5, even the 1 through 6. I'm going to be loading up on the Cardinals, even though their implied run total is a bit lower than some of the other teams. But looking to some of these teams with higher implied run totals, obviously some Twins bats versus Alex Cobb in Camden Yards makes a ton of sense. I do like the Twins here. Yankees against Jake Junis you could look to. I think I would rather play Twins bats, but I'm sure I'll have a little bit of Yankee stacks across my 20 lineups. Some other teams, some Dodgers versus Julius Chassin, I think makes some sense. And then obviously the Coors game. I'm more interested in the Rockies facing Velasquez, but there are some cheap bats in that Phillies lineup. You could still play some Phillies bats versus Marquez, like Quinn, obviously, even Kingery at 4,500, McCutchen 4,800. Philly stack not out of play, but I have a lot more interest in the other side, going to Rockies bats. Those are probably the teams I'm looking to stack up. Those are just some stacks that stand out to me. Also, Astros versus Drew Smyly in Globe Life Park, 5.3 implied run total for the Astros. Don't want to overlook them either. And actually, some of their guys are pretty nicely priced, like Alex Bregman, 4,600, Carlos Correa, 4,500, Springer, 4,900. I do like an Astro stack today as well. Astro stack will be a part of my stacks across my 20 lineups. But now we'll look at some BVP plays before we end the video. Since it is a 14-game slate, there are a lot of BVP plays. You can pause the video and look at all these, but I'm just going to cover the ones that do stand out to me. Maybe if a guy's homered a lot off a certain player, or if he has a really good batting average. So looking at homers, 4 home runs for Yonder Alonso. He's gone 7 for 18, 4 home runs off of Jordan Zimmerman. So Yonder Alonso really hit Zimmerman well. Jose Abreu also hit Zimmerman well, 10 for 23 with 2 home runs. Jock Peterson, 3 for 13, 2 home runs off of Chassin. Cody Bellinger, 5 for 12, 2 home runs off of Chassin. Mike Trout, 8 for 17, home run off of Marco Gonzalez. Looking at some batting averages, some guys that have high batting averages. Abreu's got a high batting average. Michael Brantley, 5 for 12, 417 average against Drew Smyly. Andrelton Simmons, 8 for 18, 444 average off of Marco Gonzalez. Greg Garcia, I doubt he's in the lineup, but 7 for 14, 500 average off of Desclafani. Whit Merrifield, 5 for 11, 455 average off of CC Sabathia. So those are just a couple BVP plays that really stand out. I would say the top BVP play, though, is probably Yonder Alonso versus Zimmerman, 7 for 18, 4 home runs. That's definitely the top BVP play of this slate if you're a believer in BVP. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for BVP. I think that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click that like button down below before you get out of here. I would really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Subscribe so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. And like always, if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT if you do have any questions. Always active on Twitter. So feel free to hit me up there. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Good luck tonight on Friday's slate. Peace.